This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so this is a non-mandatory pre-proposal meeting for our 130-acre general industrial property that we have over in Warrenton. And so I just wanted to provide this opportunity so that should developers have any questions, clarifying questions that they're needing for our proposal that is posted, they can take this time to do so. And then any clarifying questions that come from this would be added to the website as additional information. And so at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and go around the room and just ask everybody to introduce themselves and how they are associated with this project, whether as a community stakeholder or as a potential developer. And so my name is Monica Steele, and I'm the Assistant County Manager, and I am one of the main contacts in regards to this RFP. And also on the line is Brad Carnesi. And so Brad, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, Brad Carnesi with Cushman & Wakefield, representing the county in the disposition of North Coast Business Park. Available to answer any questions.
Thanks, Brad. And I'll go ahead and go around the virtual room and just call on the stakeholders first. And so Melanie.
Hi, Melanie Olson. I'm a Regional Development Officer with Business Oregon. We're the state's economic development agency, and also a member of the North Coast Regional Solutions team, headed up by the Governor's Office.
Great, thanks. Kevin?
Good morning, I'm Kevin Leahy. I'm the Executive Director of CEDAR, which is Clatsop County's economic development organization. I also serve as the Clatsop County Enterprise Zone Manager.
Thanks, Kevin. Terry?
I'm Terry Hendricks, Clatsop County Public Works Assistant Director. I'm just here to back up Monica.
Thank you, Terry. Somebody's joining us, and so my screen just shifted. Colin.
Great, thank you. Colin, Public Works Director, City of Warrenton. Just listening in, seeing what kind of questions people have to ask. We won't have a lot of answers today, but we can also help in the future as far as knowing what the questions are.
Great, thanks, Colin. And Suzanne.
Good morning, I'm Suzanne Johnson. I'm the Director of Assessment and Taxation.
Thanks, Suzanne. And so Amanda, you just joined us, and so we were just kind of going around the room introducing the community stakeholders. And I will ask any interested developers or representatives, if you could please in the chat enter your name and the firm that you're with, and so that way if there's anything that needs to be followed up with either of you, I have that information. And so just to kind of recap, the reason that we have so many of our stakeholders here is because there's just a lot of questions about this property, how it can be used, what the county is looking to aspire to have this property become. We have it's county-owned property, but it's within the city of Warrenton. Terry from our Public Works Department is here because he has significant historical knowledge in regards to the property and the wetlands associated with the property. Suzanne is here again because as the Assessment and Tax Director, this property is on our tax roll, and there are taxing districts that benefit from the development of this property. Colin, as mentioned, is with the City of Warrenton, and so since the property is within the City of Warrenton, it will be their planning department that any potential developer would be working with. And then Kevin and Melanie from both the state and economic development perspective just have interest in seeing this industrial land be put to good use in regards to creating economic opportunities in our county. So I'm going to go ahead and call on each of you now to introduce yourselves and who you're representing. So I'll call on you, Alexi.
Yes, hi, I'm Alexi Mavison, Director of Marketing and Business Development with Scott Edwards Architecture. And we are interested in the site and have done a lot of work on the coast. So I'm attending really to see what developer interest there was in the project and to see if we could join someone's team.
Great, thanks. And Amanda? Oh, I can't hear you. I know a lot of people aren't used to GoToMeeting. I can't hear you. Let me see. Did that help? No? Okay. All right, I'm gonna, I also had just join us Lisa Phipps, and she is with DLCD. And so Lisa, if you just wanna kind of introduce yourself and what DLCD's role is in this property, that would be great.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I am the North Coast Regional Representative for the Department of Land Conservation and Development. And so our role is really overseeing the statewide planning goals. And so this property has a lot of value, both regionally, but also from a state perspective. And so just being a partner and helping the county when they're looking at options that are best suited for this site.
Great, thanks so much, Lisa. And Amanda, is there a possibility that you can call in on the separate phone number? So while you continue to work on that, and I can just give a little bit of background as well on what the county has done with this property so far, if that will help. And Alexi, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any point in time. And it looks like we've had somebody else join us. Brian, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself as well as put your name and the firm that you are with in the chat box, that would be great.
Hello, Brian Ellsbury, Warrenton Fire Department.
Okay, thanks. You don't, sorry, yeah, I didn't recognize your name. You don't have to put yourself in the chat box.
Okay.
Is it working for you, Amanda? No, I still can't hear you. So just to kind of give you a little bit of information on this property, most recently what the county has done is we hired the consulting firm of McKinsey to do a developmental feasibility study of this property. And when we asked them to do this work, it was based on the known quantity that the county does not have a wetland mitigation bank. And so therefore, what would development look like if we were to strictly mitigate the wetlands on site with using that 130 acres? And so I'm gonna go ahead, and you might already have this information, but I am going to share my screen. And so hopefully you all will shortly be able to see this. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks. And so this site here in the top area, this is a portion of the 130 acres that we were referring to. Whoops, sorry, wrong way. Trying to zoom in a little bit more. So here in this middle section is approximately, and Terry can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is approximately 70 acres, and then up above here is another approximate 60 acres. And between these three tax lots is the total property that is being listed in this RFP. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background as to some of the properties that are in the surrounding area. This property right here is Costco. And over here, this is a car dealership, Astoria Ford. And then back in this area, there's more development that has some shopping centers, a couple of restaurants, Goodwill. And then up in this area over here is a Walmart. Highway 101 runs along north and south here. And then there's what's called alternate 101 or business 101 that comes around the property and then connects over and heads east this way.
Monica, I don't know if others are seeing your mouse move when you're talking, but it wasn't working for me.
No, me neither.
Oh, well, how about now?
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay, so this area here in the center here, this comprises the 2 tax lots and then up above here. And so right to the west of Southeast 19th Street is where Costco is. And then this area over here is where there are additional shopping centers. And then you have across the highway is Home Depot. Down here you have Walmart. And then right here in the corner you have the car dealership of Astoria Ford. So 101 runs north-south. And then alternate 101, Business Highway 101, comes around and then reconnects to head east over here. Ensign is an intersection, a lighted intersection off of 101 that drives straight through to this property location as well. In the surrounding area, there are 2 tax lots that are undeveloped. One is owned by what is Fort George Brewery, or Big Beans is who the property owner's name is. And then another one is Columbia Memorial Hospital, this one here. There is a small developed lot right here with a building on it, and that is the Clatsop County Animal Shelter. And then just a little bit further south is where the Clatsop County Jail, it's currently under construction, a remodel project is located out there, along with over on this tax lot is the Clatsop County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Parole and Probation Office. And so there's a considerable amount of development around this lot, but then as you can tell to the east, there is also some significant undeveloped land that is owned by a private property owner. To this area over here, there is a established housing development, and then I'm going to try and move this map up a little bit more. And then just south of where the jail and the sheriff's office is a future sited housing development. The Google Maps is a little bit outdated, but in this area over here where it's just kind of brown, and again, Terry or somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong, but this area is where the newly sited Warrenton Middle School is now located at, as well as other developments such as Northwest Natural Gas, and anybody else can correct me if I'm missing anything. And I'm just gonna follow up. Oh, okay, sounds good, Amanda. So that's a little bit about the property. Again, it is zoned general industrial. It allows for light, heavy, and airport related industrial development. And so when looking at this property and how it connects from 101 as well as with Ensign running through the middle of it, there is further industrial development that is happening in this area right up here where the airport is located at. I'm trying to scroll it that way. And so we do have a regional airport located here. It serves a number of private companies, as well as the airport is also where the U.S. Coast Guard is stationed at. And I don't know if Melanie wants to speak a little bit to some of the development, industrial development that is also happening out by the airport.
Sure, I'll just mention there is a lot under construction there between Airport Lane and it looks like Southeast 12. Is that right? I don't. It's very small print. So that development's underway, and then there's a second development that's being proposed in that area that will serve the seafood processing industries of Clatsop County. And then the port has other master plan concepts in the works for the airport and some expansion ideas there. And I think the idea is that, or the hope is rather, that the North Coast Business Park and the airport, that there's some synergy between the two and the activities, and that North Coast Business Park could help support some of the activity at the airport and vice versa. Whether or not that actually happens, we don't know, but you do have an active port district that has a vested interest, obviously, in that site and in that property, and is looking forward to more development in that area.
Great, thanks. So just a little bit more in regards to some of the work that was done back regarding the McKinsey. Again, this was specific to only mitigating wetlands on site. And so I'm gonna try and pull up so they did two different development ideas or concepts for us. And let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. And these were just general ideas. So should the county want to try and mitigate on site ourselves, which is not something that we decided we are looking to do, but they gave us two different options. And so the shaded red area would be the area that would be filled in to be possibly developed. And so one concept was essentially making a large, just over 30-acre lot, which is this red area here. It has kind of a little square off to the east of it, and then basically developing that whole corner area that runs right off of Ensign and Southeast 19th. The green area, as well as the property that is to the north, would all be the mitigated wetlands to create that 30-acre lot. The other option was to, sorry. There we go. The other option was to, sorry, I'm not having very good luck with my technology skills, was to create 3 smaller lots, again, using the on-site wetlands to mitigate. So you would still have an area that is there on the corner. There we go. That would be just over 11.5 acres here. And then you would have 2 other lots, one comprising of approximately 9 acres and another of approximately 6.5 acres. So you would still have some wetlands that kind of separate the 2 developable areas and spreading it out a little bit more. And again, this was just a concept based on mitigating on site. And this information is available through the Google Drive if you wanted to see the full report. There's also a number of other documents on the full report, which includes the map with a consent decree that does apply to this property, as well as the most recent wetland delineation that is also available on the Google Drive. I want to take a minute if there's anything that anybody wants to ask or add to what I've said. I know, Amanda, this isn't, I want to provide you with the opportunities. And so if you do have something that you want to put into the chat, I can attempt to answer it that way, but we can also follow up separately in a phone call if you would like.
So I tried calling in. Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear you now. That works. Perfect.
Okay. One question I had is, for the delineation, has that been verified by the Corps? Is there any sort of agency interaction yet, or this has all just been as part of the planning process?
So I'm going to let Terry speak to that, but there has been agency interaction. And so Terry, if you want to go ahead and talk to that point.
We have, confirmation on the wetland delineation from Division of State Lands. We, at separate times, we have approached the Corps of Engineers to take and put together a project list, but they wanted us to completely develop the business park in one fell swoop rather than each individual project. So what we've done is as we've partitioned this off, each individual landowner, after purchasing the property, has submitted their own joint permit application to the regulatory agencies.
I will also add, if I may, Monica, yeah, this, several of the people I think on this call, as well as the Governor's Regional Solutions team, we've met with the county and the other permitting agencies on multiple occasions about this site, and there's been a number of conversations about the wetland delineation process with the Corps and with the state. I'm sure there's documents galore at the county about those conversations, but this is something, and this site is also on the Regional Solutions team's work plan, and if a developer goes forward with it, that is something that the team can help support through that permitting process.
Thanks, Melanie. Any other questions, Amanda?
No, that's it. I guess since I didn't get to introduce myself very well, RestoCap has done several other sort of, we do restoration, whether it's a mitigation bank or a turnkey, and we're working with state lands and DEQ on a couple of other sites more near Portland. And so I think we're interested in looking at this from a restoration perspective, but often how that ties in with development to try and do everything on site to maximize what we can do with the restoration piece, as well as best use for development.
Okay. And if you are able to put your, I didn't see, did you get your information into the chat? If you could get your contact information into the chat, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you. Alexi, did you have any questions?
Not really at this point. I guess just over time, depending on how many proposals you guys receive, and I don't know how much interest you've heard so far, but if the county would possibly move towards, parceling some of this out, or, I mean, are you, at this point, you're hoping that someone will come in and kind of take it all, right? But
yeah, at this point in time, the county is looking to keep the whole 130 acres that remain as a whole collective. We're not looking to break it into smaller portions. We did sell off those 2 southern lots to 2 separate developers, but at this point in time, we would like to keep the rest of it as one large area. So just to kind of reiterate the RFP process, I have heard from 3 developers outside of you all, or 3 other interested parties outside of you all. And we are working also with our realtor, Brad Carnesi of Cushman and Wakefield. The proposal went out on January 5th, and we're asking that responses be submitted no later than March 17th at 4 p.m. And then many of the people that are currently on this call are part of a as part of a review committee who will be reviewing these proposals and then making a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners based on the criteria that has been established in the RFP. So if at any point in time anybody does have any additional questions, they are free to reach out to myself or Brad to help answer those. And then we will be putting any additional information that does come up through any questions onto that same website address. And if there are additional documents that are requested that we have available to us, we would upload that to the Google Docs drive. And so if you haven't yet requested access to that Google Docs drive, you can email me and I will get that sent out to you. So if there aren't any additional questions, I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning, and we look forward to answering any additional questions you might have or working with you in the future. So if nothing further, then we will go ahead and adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.